Hey guys, this is Deni as always. There are a lot of cool games coming out this year that I haven't told you about yet. A lot of them aren't popular, and I don't think you'll hear about them anywhere else but on this channel, so I am really excited to tell you about them. Click to like, click to subscribe if you haven't already. Do you miss adrenaline and dynamic gameplay? The perfect place to get it all? Good old Crossout. Tense battles, dozens of different vehicles, and hundreds of parts for their customization are waiting for you. You can make a powerful, bulletproof tank and destroy your enemies just by the look of it. Or make something smaller, but fast, and get in the back of unsuspecting enemies. In any case, Crossout is the best place to show everyone who is a real pro. Download the game at the link in the description. I suggest you to start with an incredible shooter on Unreal Engine 5, the First Descendant. We are waiting for a cooperative role-playing game for 4 people, where we, as one of several characters, will go to fight with giant bosses. We are waiting for different bosses, different missions, pumping in terms of weapons, talents, and everything else. Visually, this game looks futuristic. It is even scary that in our time, games such come out. In addition to bosses, we will also kill small mobs as grind. Well, this is until we reach the final in the form of big bosses. In general here, it feels like a mixture of Helldivers 2 with Remnant is waiting for us, approximately like this. In the contest of the most non-standard setting wins Ratten Reich. In front of you, a new RTS strategy with characters rats, which also added to the world of diesel punk crossed with steampunk. Mishmash, I understand, but in practice it looks very cool. In addition to rats, by the way, in the local world fight and communities of mice, cockroaches, and even lizards, each faction with its own set of vehicles and infantry. Gameplay-wise, it's a real-time strategy game with all of the above, with an added emphasis on 2 things: the ability to shelter your units behind various buildings or objects, and on the destructibility of these objects. This means that if you can't get the enemy out of some house, you can pretty much demolish that house. It looks very decent. The game about Indiana Jones in general is enough, but there are no adequate games about him at all, and somehow the pedestal of an ideal explorer in the game industry was shared between Nathan Drake from Uncharted and Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. And now, this year, quite possibly, Indiana will join them, especially since it's being made by the developers of the old Wolfenstein. Well, Todd Howard from Bethesda dropped in. In short, everything is good with budget and experience. That's why the trailers of the game look great. We play as Indiana, and gameplay will be a one-person adventure, where we follow a linear plot but occasionally distracted by free movement. All in all, it looks interesting. Also, a remake of the 3rd part of Solid Snake is due out this year. We are brought back to the story of Big Boss's formation and his participation in Operation Snake Eater. Given that the gameplay has already been shown, we're in for some updated graphics and overall gameplay. Who suddenly is not familiar with the series at all? Here we have a half-action, half-stealth, where you rest in the 1960s during the Cold War. Our quest is to quietly eliminate various nasties. Nice and flashy and dirty. Big Boss likes to crawl around in the mud. What can you do? Oh, and by the way, yeah, the game was moved to 5 Unreal Engine, so the visuals should be excellent. Before you is the second part of the legendary Hollow Knight, a perfect Metroidvania that hasn't been released for a long time. Actually, it was supposed to be released last year, but the developers postponed their release and are very inactive in sharing the news. But there is no sense in not releasing an already actually finished product, and it will definitely not take more than a year to polish it. Therefore, it is likely that in 2024, we will finally be able to play this sequel. Here, by the way, the main character Hornet, warrior from the first part, armed with a needle and thread. The action will unfold in a new kingdom. Farloom, the research will be almost the same as in the first part. To open a new territory on the map, first you will have to find a special character, talk to him, and he will share a fragment of the map. You can explore the location without him, but it's a bit inconvenient. And plus, here the emphasis will be more on battles, not on platforming as it was in the first one. Because of this, the game has changed the balance of combat. All in all, we are waiting. And here is the second part about the lady's adventures in Hellblade, to wait only a couple of months. The release is scheduled for May 21st, 2024. In general, it should be the same game, but only twice as good, twice as big, and here's everything else twice as well. First of all, the game is made on 5 Unreal Engine, although the first part was unrealistically beautiful without it. It's even scary what the developers will do here. I'm not even talking about the sound in the game. If they are in the trailers cause goosebumps, then what will be in the game? Fear. Gameplay, all the action takes place in Iceland in the 10th century. Senua's psychosis will again become the central part of the narrative, and the battles in the game will be even more brutal, mainly because the character is primarily an ordinary girl, not a fighter, and every fight will be given to the heroine with difficulty. The great Japanese storm is coming, or is it not the PlayStation owners who are revolting? Oh yeah, that's right, they are, cause Ghost of Tsushima has been announced for PC, and a director's cut version too. PS owners have finished their long beta test of the game, and now we will be able to evaluate how Jinsekai looks like on PC. The developers for the release removed restrictions in FPS, added more different graphical options, and to make your head explode. The game now has lip sync with Japanese speech in the clips, which are created in real time on your PC. In short, this is something we're definitely looking forward to. Solar. I'm not waiting for any races, but test drive. Unlimited Solar looks very attractive. First of all, you should start with the map, because in front of you, Hong Kong, which the developers recreated on a scale of 1:1. That is, you have a huge city and local forests and everything else. The world of the game with this approach is completely open, so you can drive absolutely any car, from some Ford to Bugatti. The developers didn't forget to add customization, as well as didn't forget to make 2 opposing clans in the game and organize a global war between them. Who to join? You choose yourself. Therefore, the game is also MMO partially, which is a rare case for racing. Well, and beautiful they are, damn. And this is something quite extraordinary. In front of you is Kingmakers, a game in which we go to an epic medieval sandbox in which you can, quite randomly, teleport with a machine gun and grenade launchers, and then, in a 3-person view, shoot this huge oncoming army with an assault rifle, throw grenades at the knight, ride and shoot on horseback, and in general arrange a real war. Developers took and mixed in a single pile of knights and castles with the world of the future and the present. Visually looks, to put it mildly, not usually well, and plus, physics is also in place. There's also co-op here. Concerning not usual stylistics. In front of you is a very nice Clockworks Revolution, a 1-person role-playing game in a world of some golden steampunk. We are in the city of Avalon, and our actions as we wander there will affect both the city and the characters in it. It all depends directly on our actions and choices as the game progresses. Well, also, of the non-standard choices, we'll be time traveling, mostly in the past, changing it and thus changing the city in the present. Details on the game are still few, but it looks cool according to the trailers. The developers of No Man's Sky have a knack for giant worlds. In addition to the infinitely huge previous game, now they make us a beautiful Light No Fire, the size of which is comparable to the size of our Earth, 1K1. Therefore, walking on foot is not worth it here. There is a lot of transportation, dragons, birds, and so on. The game itself is a survival and sandbox, cooperative with adventures and a mountain of research. You will be able to build a base anywhere, and the people symbols of the various visit which live on this planet. Yes, even in the dungeons to walk. How the servers will work in the game is not clear yet, but apparently it will be possible to jump on each other's worlds.
We are not alone.
And this thing is awaited by many space lovers. In Homeworld 3, we will lead a huge space fleet and will participate in battles in three-dimensional space. Plus, if you know the universe of this game and its plot, you can find out the continuation of the story. Not only the game visually looks good, but the developers have also screwed ballistic simulation, the modes are also good, single campaign, multiplayer for 3, some kind of roguelike. In general, it's really nice. How about getting a little bit scared? In front of you, a new sci-fi horror game from one person, where we will enjoy graphics and physics, as well as walk on some sci-fi station somewhere in the back of the galaxy. We won't be walking alone. We will be walking with different robots, which look like Revenant from Apex Legends, but even scarier. In general, here we have Dead Space from one person and with robots. And a couple of words about the upcoming Project L33T test. Before you is a new analog of Tarkov, but already from another studio and a bit more lively. Here we will face not only human opponents, but also explore anomalous zones created by representatives of extraterrestrial civilization. We are waiting for a mountain of weapons, different characters, cooperative sorties, and by the way, in sorties you can go not only with real players, but also with bots, which is funny. About the number of different mechanics, I'm not talking at all. Dehydration, blood loss, energy level, poisoning, fatigue, and many other gameplay ornaments. All in all, it looks extremely intriguing. Well, that's all for today. I hope you found something interesting for you, and therefore you clicked on the like and subscribe too. Well, with you was as always Deni, and have a nice day.